Hello and welcome to another video. On this video I thought I'd give you a bit of a tour of my bushcraft shed, man cave, call it what you will. I store all my camping gear in here. It's also my studio for YouTube. Obviously I've got the archery stuff in here as well. So before I get into actually showing you around the shed, let's have a look at what type of shed it is and how I installed it. So the shed that I went for in the end was a Pent style shed, which is basically just means it's got a slope roof instead of an apex. And mine's similar to this. The doors where the windows are, and mine only came with one window, which I took out and reinforced the area. So my shed was going on a concrete drive, which is a good solid base, but as you can see here, the drive runs off, and I had to put some small feet on the subframe to get it all level. This is CLS timber, which is a soft wood, and I use 3x2s. Here you can see that I've treated the timber. The frame itself was a bit more than this, but I didn't take a picture. It has got more strength than what's shown in this photo, but I didn't take a picture of it. So it was a case of working through the night and just throwing everything in. Yeah, I did manage to get a picture on the wall. Here's Max looking a bit dismayed because there's nowhere for him to lie down in there. I had an idea about making a shadow board for the axes, but I didn't go with that idea in the end. So yeah, it was just a case of getting everything in here. So this unit was gifted to me by a family member. I decided it was a little bit big for my needs, so you'll see later on what I did with that. So as I've said, my shed needs to serve a few purposes: storing camping gear, bushcraft gear, all the archery stuff, and it has to be somewhere where I can come and work on my YouTube videos as well. So the next thing I had to do was think about installation. The product I used was something called ThermaWrap, and here you can see in the corners where I've actually used some self-adhesive tin foil, which is also for insulation purposes, and I did all the wood between the ThermaWrap. In order to attach it to the walls, I just simply used a staple gun. You need a good quality staple gun. I bought a Stanley one which was able to do staples and brad nails. You'll see me using it a little bit later on. I'll leave a link in the description below to the tools and some of the materials that I've used for this build. That's all 4 walls now done in the ThermaWrap. Still got the ceiling to do. I've got some electric in here as well, and I'm just preparing to do the floor. So the floor, first of all, I used turkey tin foil, the stuff you use at Christmas. I lined the floor with that and PVA'd it down. Then you can see I put some struts in there, and in between the struts I just used normal bubble wrap, folded over a few times and stapled it down. Here I'm just starting to measure up the first length of laminates. This is not cheap laminate, it's about 10mm thick, it's good quality stuff, and you can just see there where I've put some more tinfoil, self-adhesive tinfoil between where the joins were in the bubble wrap. And for the ceiling I used some actual camping mats which are foil lined, again just stapled to the ceiling. I think I used 3 of these in the end, about 16 quid each I think they were. And also I put struts in the roof as well, so I could attach some tongue and groove to the roof as well. As the build went on, and before the tongue and groove finishing was done on the walls inside, I put the solar panel in, or on the roof should I say. This is a PK green solar panel. It's a 10-watt one, monocrystalline. This is just to provide me with a 12 volt power source for charging phones up, ham radio, use for the ham radio and things like that, just so I've got a 12 volt source. It's green, it's clean, it doesn't cost me anything to run. I'm no expert on solar panels or an electrician, but they are fairly easy to install. Basically you have one wire coming from your solar panel to the charge controller, then you have a wire coming down to your outputs, which you can see I'm working on here, and then you have a wire that goes down to your battery. My advice would be to get a controller that's larger, more capacity than your solar panel, and then at least if you want to upgrade your solar panel in the future to a higher power one, then you can do. My outputs are 2 cigarette style outputs, and you can just see where the blue lights, the blue LED is, that I've got 2 USB outputs there as well. Here I'm just finishing off the tongue and groove. It was quite difficult to source the tongue and groove because we was in the middle of a lockdown and B&Q kept running out of it, and I'm just using the staple gun with brad nails in it. So we're a few months on now from the footage you've just seen. The shed is actually finished. It has been a labour of love at times. One thing I didn't say, it was the size, which is 5 by 7 feet. So yeah, it's a good size. Obviously you're going to have to excuse the mess in here. It is a man shed. It is where my domain is, basically. So what I'm going to do now is just give you a quick look around the shed. So starting just above the door, you can see the charge controller, and we'll get down to the battery and all that in a little while. I've put a shelf here with all my books, my maps. I do need a book stop for here. So anybody with any ideas for a book stop that you know, suits what I do, kind of outdoory, let me know in the comments below. Below the shelf we've got various wires that I use for the audio side of things and for charging things up. Then I've got another shelf here. You can just see the ham radio. This is just on a hinge, no particular reason, just it fits nicely. Along this shelf here we've obviously got a USB audio interface for the condenser microphone, which I've used that microphone for most of the voiceover in this video. This other thing is basically a phantom power unit for the microphone, but I don't use that. Pot of pens, self-explanatory. Then we come down to here, we've got the solar panel outputs. So like I say, you've got these cigar type outputs, and then we've got the 2 USBs, and I've got a little light underneath this shelf, just plug that in. So I've got some LEDs there. Obviously we've got the hard drive for the computer. I'll just move back a little bit so you can see the desk, and we've got the computer, speakers, all that kind of thing. I'll tell you in a second how I get the internet to the shed. Underneath here, yeah, we've got the battery, big car battery for the solar panel. That's my waste bin. A few tools. That box is kind of my junk box. Everything goes in there, that's sunglasses and things like that. It's just full of junk, really. Right, one thing you do need is a good heater. You can see that I've left at the back well, it's actually, I've not left it, I've actually put this insulation over the tongue and groove just so it reflects a little bit of heat back at me. Can't remember what kind of heater this is. Oh, I think that's possibly an output there as well. Yeah, I'll leave a link in the description to one that's similar if I can't find this one. But yeah, a good heater. Then we've got some more camping stuff down there. Above the computer, we've got a little thing there that I can mount my cameras on. Obviously we've got a bit of paraphernalia from the Aboriginal tribes there. Up there we've got some binoculars, some couple of torches, some other bits and pieces, and a nice smelly. Moving round, we've got, this is where I usually sit, just here. We've got the axes and that kind of thing, knives, water bottle. I've actually tongue and grooved the ceiling as well. So we're moving around again. This is the archery section. Just let me move my chair back to the computer. So this is the archery section and the camping gear. Like I said, I chopped that big unit down, put a bench on top, and it works quite well. Most of my camping stuff, believe it or not, is in here. I've got a couple of bags, and the tents are down in that corner there, behind the arrows that I'm working on. So this section also has 2 more lights, one there and one there, that I can turn on and off. So it lights the bench up, so if I'm doing bench tests or working or doing a review about different gear, then I can light this whole area up, which is brilliant. These wooden, I've got 2 wooden slats screwed to the wall either side, and I've got a camera mount here, so I can put, I'm not going to mess with it too much, but I can put my camera on there on my phone and point down to the bench. This is a jig that I'm making for doing cresting in my arrows. For those that don't know, you get a blank arrow shaft and then you paint your own design on it. But I'm having a few issues with this motor. The motor's too powerful, so yeah, I've got to sort that out. But I'll do a video about that in the future when I've got it all sorted out. I've just you can see I've just done a few down here. That's basically it for the shed. It works. Like I say, you've got good storage. I'm not going to go through everything that's down there, but yeah, most of my stuff's down there. Then we move round to the door. I've got a hook up there so I can hang my coats up and what have you. One thing I've not talked about so far is how I get the internet down to the shed. It's a fair distance away from the house, so the Wi-Fi signal from the house, it was okay, but it wasn't really good enough. So what I found was something called a TP-Link Home Plug 600, which is a power line. So if you can just see on the picture here, the router, you take an Ethernet cable out of your router, out of the back, into an adapter, and I'll show you that in a second. Then the adapter plugs into your wall outlet in your house, which turns basically your ring main into an Ethernet system as well, an Ethernet network, should I say. So you can see where just between the two adapters and the brick wall, obviously, that represents your ring main. So all you do is plug another adapter. You get them in a set. You plug the other adapter into where you want to take the Ethernet out of. So in my case, I've plugged the Ethernet adapter into the power of the shed, and then just run the Ethernet cable to the back of the computer, which gives me an Ethernet connection to the house, which is absolutely brilliant. I'll just show you the adapter now. So I've got one of these adapters, like I said, plugged into the house next to the router. That turns the whole of the ring main of the house into an Ethernet network, and then here we are in the shed. It's plugged into the power outlet in the shed. The white cable in the foreground, you can just see running along the screen there, is the actual Ethernet cable that goes into the back of the computer. Really good idea for getting internet over a long distance. So yeah, they are really good, these TP-Link power lines. They also do a Wi-Fi version, so you can do Wi-Fi as well. Well worth looking into. I didn't mention that the shed is actually connected to the house via an RCD, and some people, I believe, have had problems with these going through power surge units and that kind of thing, but I've had no issue with mine. Absolutely brilliant. And I may get a Wi-Fi network going as well sometime in the future, but at the moment I don't need it. So one last thing to talk about really is security. Now, I'm not going to tell you exactly what security I've got for my shed, because what would be the point of me having security if I let the world know what I've got? But I'm going to give you a few things to think about. If you've got windows, whether they be perspex or glass ones, take them out, reinforce the area, fill it with wood. Round the door, the hinges, reinforce all that, use steel plating if necessary. Have more than one lock on the outside of the shed, have a few locks. I know it's a bit of a pain, but it will save you a lot of heartbreak in the future. Also, I think Mad Dog Survival showed you a good one about using a steel bar across your door as well. So if you go over to Mad Dog Survival's channel, I'm pretty sure he's still got it up, about how he secured his shed. Also, nowadays we have IP cameras that you can do two-way communication from your phone wherever you are. Obviously, if you've got home security as well, include your shed in any CCT coverage for that. So yeah, the list is endless for the amount of security you can get. So that's all I'm going to say about that. But it's something to seriously think about, especially if you've got a lot of gear in your shed, high value stuff like I have. Right, so that concludes this video. Hope you've enjoyed it. Please leave some comments about give me some ideas for my bookshelf, because it really is annoying me. All the maps keep falling off and everything. Yeah, I really do need something up there. I was thinking of just chopping a log down and putting a log up there, but let me know your thoughts about that. Also, if you've done any shed conversions, let me know what you've done and how you use yours. So right, I'll stop waffling. Thanks for watching, everybody. Please like and subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. Don't forget, give me a thumbs up. If you're not already subscribed, click the subscribe button. That'll notify you every time I upload a video to YouTube. It's not all about archery. I do all kinds of things to do with the outdoors. So anyway, I'll see you later, guys. Thanks for watching.